Hiya, so again this week we're going to have a little look at mobility, so improving the quality of our movement rather than just adding more exercises to the library that we've already got. And last week we looked at shoulder mobility, improving the position and the range that we could move the shoulders through. And this week we're going to have a look at what's called your thoracic spine, and that's basically from the base of your neck to just below the bottom of your rib cage. So the vertebrae in that section of your spine are getting increasingly bigger. On top of that, you've got your rib cage attached to that to protect all the organs in your chest as well. But what happens as well, because of our everyday life, working at a desk, driving the car, holding the baby, carrying things, that upper back becomes more and more rounded, and we limit the range that it can move through. And what that does is it reduces the quality of the movement that we can generate through our own spine. It can lead on to aches and pains there or elsewhere, but it also compromises your ability to achieve good form in key exercises like lunges and squats. So making sure that you've got that range of motion through that sort of upper and mid section of your spine is really, really important. But actually the moves I'm going to show you today can be a lovely release, and that's whether you are feeding an infant, whether you're carrying a toddler, whether your children are a little bit older but you're desk bound at work or in a forward position all of the time. Okay, so the first one that we'll do is standing up. So you'll need a clear bit of wall. You want your bottom, upper back, and hopefully the back of your head rather than the top of your head up on a wall. Now you'll see that I've got my feet a little bit in front of me, because if I stand with my heels to the wall, I have to arch my back there. And what we want is that lovely long position in the spine for this one. Okay, so we're just going to get a nice steady breath going. And as you're breathing and relaxing here, just think of allowing those shoulders to open back towards the wall. Don't worry if they don't get all the way on there. Just think of everything tending back towards the wall. So I'm going to take a breath in here now. And then as I breathe out, I'm going to bring my head forwards and down first, and then start to just peel my spine very gradually away from the wall. And you'll see I'm moving very slowly and deliberately because I want to feel each bit come off. I'm actually going to hold it there so my bum's still touching and this kind of midsection of my back, there's a little gap there. Taking a breath in wide into my ribs, and as I breathe out, I'm going to stick my spine back up the wall one little bit at a time. Open those shoulders as I come up and lift the head. So breathing in here, breathing out, bring the head forwards, and then really slowly peel that spine off. This is not about how fast you can come down. It's almost imagining that you're a piece of wallpaper gradually peeling away from the wall and then being smoothed back up onto the wall. Okay, and if you're stiff through this region of the spine, that'll be a lot harder than it looks. So the next exercise we're going to come to is actually a really lovely one. It's a lovely relaxing move that opens things up. And I've got lots of pillows here. I've nicked the boys' pillows because they're far more interesting than mine. Okay, so you want at least 2 good sized pillows. Experiment, you might need more. Okay, what we want to do is lay down on our side. Make sure that your head is supported so that it's in line with your neck. My bottom leg is straight, and I've bent my top knee over those pillows. And the height of your pillows wants to be such that your leg is level with your hip there. Okay, so if another pillow would be too much, try a folded bath towel underneath just to give that extra lift. So one arm straight in front of you, just rest the other one on top. So take a breath in, and again, as you breathe out, I'm just going to lower that arm and bring my top shoulder blade back towards the floor behind me. Then I'll breathe in and come forwards and go again. So with my leg in that position, I want to keep my hips still. So if it helps, apply a little bit of downward pressure through that knee and then come forwards. So it's moving in time with your own breath, gradually releasing that top shoulder towards the floor behind you. Okay, now if that feels fine, what you can do is progress your arm movements. So you can draw a bent elbow back, again shoulder towards the floor, breathe in to come forwards. Next level up would be to do an open arm like this. So I've run out of room there, but you could open a straight arm and then come back. Okay, you could also, to improve a little bit of shoulder mobility, take the arm overhead and come back, or you can do a circle all the way around. So you can make your own patterns to do with your arm, as long as the core parts of the movement are stable, so that the hip doesn't move, so that leg is stable, and you're lowering the top shoulder back towards the floor. And of course you would repeat that then on the other side as well. So another couple of movements then. Now these you can do sitting on any surface really, so if you're more comfortable on a chair, then go for that. If actually sitting on the floor like this doesn't allow you to sit up tall without causing discomfort on the lower back or down the back of the legs, lift your bottom up slightly. So yoga blocks or something firm like that are ideal. Okay, a cushion would just be a little bit too soft. Because what we want to do is, I always say to my classes, imagine you're making a bum print on a beach and you want the same dent size for the left and the right buttock. Okay, so you can always have a wiggle, okay, get it even and just really notice how it feels. Then lengthen your way up and again just release those shoulders. So this one is a Pilates move and it's called the spine twist. We're going to stay with a really low level part of the move. So we're going to create a framework by making a diamond with the index fingers and the thumbs. Okay, rest the fingers underneath the chin and just touch the thumbs onto the chest. Relax the elbows and the shoulders. So as you breathe in, lengthen up the spine, out the crown of the head. As you breathe out, we're going to rotate about the waist. Breathe in to come back to the middle. Breathe out to go the other way. Now what we want is for that bottom indent or the print of your bottom on the floor to stay exactly the same as you're moving. So if you're having to lean one way or the other, or the other thing that's quite common is that as you turn, the legs come up or push. Just reduce the size of your movement, because what we want to do is be stable from those hips down and create movement through this midsection and about where your ribs are. Now really use your exhale as well, so breathe in and out. Breathe into the centre and then out. Okay, so I say you play, it's not about how far round you can go initially, it's about creating that stability and just really focusing on where that movement's coming from. So the last move that we'll look at again, you can do in a seated position. You can also do this one standing, but actually I prefer to start people sitting down because again, you've got that bum print to help you feel what's going on. Okay, so I'm going to pop one hand out to the side and the other hand is going to go onto my ear. And what I'm thinking about is bringing my shoulder to my hip without changing the print of my bottom on the floor. So same thing again, I'm going to inhale, draw tall, and as I breathe out, I'm going to squeeze over to the side, then breathe in and come back up. Same again, breathe out, squeeze the shoulder to the hip, and come back up. So if what you find, we'll do it on the other side too, is that you're leaning over, so your legs coming up, the weight's going into that buttock. Again, bring the size of your movement down. Use your breathing, so it's a big exhale. And come back up. The other thing to watch on this one, if I show you from the side, okay, is we want to be in a toaster slot. Okay, so what we're aiming for here is a bend straight to the side. Okay, what's really common again is to kind of lean forwards with that, which is using slightly a different type of movement. So for this one exercise, we just want that bend to the side. So lengthen up, breathe in, and as you breathe out, just come to the side, shoulder comes towards the hip, bottom print stays even, and then you come back up. So what you can do is you can just pick one of those moves and practice it for a while, or you might do a little combination. As I say, if you're a mum with young ones at all, I really recommend the one on the floor, making sure you prop yourself up with pillows, because it just gives you that, few minutes of me time to actually let some tension go and really open up the muscles across the chest whilst getting some movement into that upper back as well. If you've got any questions at all, just either ping them on the comments below or send me a message. All right, hope you enjoy it. I'll speak to you soon.